When you look at a dead tree, what do you see? Probably just an ugly, splintered stump. An ending. But one man, a retired coal miner from Montevallo, Alabama, looked at a park full of storm-ravaged trees and saw something else entirely. He saw dragons, wizards, gnomes, a kingdom hidden in plain sight. This is the story of how one man with no formal training and one very loud chainsaw turned destruction into wonder, and why he risked getting arrested to do it. Welcome to Orr Park. Welcome to Tinglewood. In the small college town of Montevallo sits a 40-acre park hugged by Shoal Creek. For decades, Orr Park was a calm little patch of green, ball fields, playgrounds, and a shaded trail lined with centuries-old cedar trees. Then came 1993. A brutal ice storm ripped through central Alabama, leaving devastation in its wake. The park's mighty cedars, once proud and towering, were left shattered, their limbs splintered, their trunks broken and bare. City crews began planning cleanup, but one man saw opportunity in the wreckage. Meet Tim Tingle. If you're picturing an artist in a beret, softly chipping marble in a pristine studio, think again. Tim was a coal miner, 37 years underground in the dark and dust, but he had an eye for creation. After the storm, he stopped by Orr Park hoping to help with cleanup, or at least grab a few logs to carve. But he was told no. The trees were sacred. Dr. Orr, the park's benefactor, had forbidden cutting them down, even after death. So Tim left, but the idea wouldn't let go. He returned with his tools, waited until nobody was watching, and carved a single horse head into one of the fallen cedars. No permission, no plan, just faith that beauty was worth the risk. Then another carving, and another. But by the sixth one, he got caught. He went home expecting sirens. Instead, the city called and said, "You don't have permission to hack on our cedar trees." But then came the twist. The Montevallo City Council had voted to let him keep carving. 2 rules: nothing obscene, and only carve the dead wood. And just like that, a coal miner became the artist in residence of a park reborn. Tim's tool of choice wasn't a chisel, it was a chainsaw. That roar you hear as you walk the trail isn't destruction, it's creation. Each slice of the blade is a brush stroke, each cut a heartbeat of imagination. One wrong move, and a dragon loses an eye. One slip, and a wizard loses his beard. But somehow, Tim learned the grain and language of cedar, the way it bends, cracks, and sings under the saw. Bit by bit, faces began to emerge from the bark. A nose here, a grin there, an eye carved from a knot in the wood. He wasn't carving on the trees. He was carving out the spirits that were already waiting inside. Today, Orr Park isn't just a park anymore. It's a fantasy world called Tinglewood. More than 30 carvings are scattered across the trail. A dragon arches its neck skyward. A gnome peeks mischievously from behind a stump. An old man's face gazes out from a trunk as if he's been watching the town for centuries. Everywhere you look, the line between nature and art blurs. The living trees still shade the dead, and together they tell a story of resilience. It's whimsical, weird, and absolutely wonderful. And if you want to see Orr Park through a totally different lens, go check out Dusty's video over on her channel. She dives into the story of Tim Tingle too. But where I saw a forest of carved ghosts and hidden faces, she saw pure childhood magic. To her, Orr Park feels like stepping into the movie Labyrinth. That perfect mix of wonder, mischief, and "are these trees looking at me?" energy. So if you're ready to let your inner child come out and play, her video's where you'll find it. So why'd he do it? Not for fame, not for fortune, just for beauty. Tim Tingle saw something broken and refused to let it stay that way. His carvings turned loss into legacy, and those quiet acts of creativity eventually drew people from all over the country. Now, every fall, Montevallo hosts the Tinglewood Festival, a celebration of art, wood carving, and the wild spark of imagination that started it all. You can still hear chainsaws singing through the park as new artists carry on Tim's tradition. The story of Tinglewood is proof that destruction doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the beginning of something extraordinary. Tim Tingle looked at a graveyard of trees and saw a forest reborn. He turned death into wonder, one cut at a time. So if you love stories about creators who see the world a little differently, make sure you subscribe and come along for the next adventure. And don't forget to swing by Dusty's channel for her take on Orr Park. Because trust me, you'll want both sides of this story. From iron and fire to wood and whimsy, Alabama's still got plenty of stories left to tell. And we're just getting started.